Okay, so we're ready to start coating this floor. We've sanded it up to 100 grit. This floor is very porous. Even though it's a hardwood floor, if you were to take a glass of water and spill it on this floor right now, it wouldn't make a puddle, it would sink right into the wood. So all floors that are sanded with these machines are porous. Birch, maple, ash, really hardwood, it's really porous once it's been sanded. So what floor sanders usually do is the first coat or coats they do on the floor to deal with that porosity is what they call sanding sealer. That's what I had here the other day when I was mixing it with sawdust. So I use sanding sealer as a filling agent but not as a finish. The problem with using sanding sealer as a finish is its appearance and its durability. Sanding sealer dries so quickly that you can skin the wood with it, because this coat of sanding sealer will dry in about 20 minutes. So it dries so quickly, it makes a fast drying skin on top of the wood, and then they take polyurethane and they put it on top of the sanding sealer, and the polyurethane lays on top of the sanding sealer and dries. So most floor sanders work involves putting on some amount of sanding sealer with some amount of polyurethane on top of it. And what's wrong with that is the polyurethane doesn't grip the sanding sealer very well. And so if you get abrasion on it, salts, acids, things like that, it makes the polyurethane lose its grip on the sanding sealer. It doesn't have to flake or peel off. It's not like that. It's more likely to just chemically degenerate. So that if you start rubbing furniture on it, stuff like that, the polyurethane will lose its grip on the sealer. It just like chemically degenerates. And then you start getting black wear marks. Sanding sealer is what makes floors look blonde or amber. So if you go into a lot of houses or apartment buildings, the floors often have this really yellow appearance. It's really common. What you're looking at isn't the color of the floor. You're looking through the color of the sanding sealer they got laying on the floor. So it's really important for floor sanders to quickly cover these floors. So if you put a coat of sanding sealer or two, it dries right away. You'll watch it dry. And then you put a coat or two of polyurethane on top of it, and the polyurethane lays on top of the sanding sealer and dries. The sanding sealer dries so quickly that you can recoat it, put the urethane on without leaving. And you put the sealer on, and then you put the polyurethane on top of it, and the next day you can walk on the floor. So it's really important to a lot of people to get these floors done quickly, because you really have to tie buildings up to do floor work. So I'm not doing that here. I'm not putting sanding sealer on. I'm just putting polyurethane right on the raw wood. And that's how you're supposed to do it. You're just not supposed to use sanding sealer, but it's really commonly used in this business. The problem with doing it the way I'm doing it is you have to put 3 coats of polyurethane on. So the first coat of polyurethane, this one, because there's no sanding sealer here, this coat of urethane is all going to get sucked into the wood. That's what you want it to do. When the polyurethane gets sucked into the wood, it increases the tensile strength of the wood. And polyurethane is robbed of its ability to do that when it's laying on top of a sanding sealer. So the polyurethane actually hardens the wood. But the problem is you have to put 3 coats of it on. So this coat, the polyurethane I'm putting on, will be dry to the touch tomorrow. But it won't be dry enough to put the second coat of polyurethane on tomorrow. You have to wait a day beyond that. And the reason you have to wait that long is because before the second coat of polyurethane goes on, the first coat of polyurethane has to be fine sanded first. And you can't do that in just one day. If you try to do that, even though the urethane is dry enough to walk on in a day, it's dry to the touch, it's not dry enough to take a sanding. It's very fine sandpaper, and you come up with sandpaper. So sanding dry is drier than touch dry. So you have to wait 2 days. It's lightly sanded, clean, and then the second polyurethane coat goes on, and it starts to get built up by then. But it's not finished. It still needs another coat. So you have to wait another 2 days, and it's lightly sanded and clean. And then the third coat of polyurethane goes on. And then it takes a day for that to dry. So if you put 3 coats of polyurethane right on the raw wood, like this is the first coat of that, by the time you're done, it's like 5 days. So this really, doing it this way, really ties up this building, or any building you're doing. So you have to have time to do it this way. But it's far more durable. There's another thing, if you see I'm putting this on with a bristle brush. There's only 2 things you can use to put polyurethane on floors. And that's a natural lamb's wool applicator or a bristle brush. I don't know if anybody still puts varnishes on with a roller. It used to be a real popular one. It's about the worst thing you can use. Because when you use a roller, only 1 degree of the roller is touching the surface and then it moves on. There's not enough surface contact. So when you use a brush, there's a much greater area of surface contact. between the brush and the surface. The other thing about using a bristle brush, the hairs on a bristle brush are hollow. And when you put varnishes on, the bristles drag or distribute the varnish much better. So this should never be put on with a synthetic brush. If you do use a lamb's wool applicator, it's really important. It's a natural lamb's wool applicator. A lot of dealers don't have those. The natural ones are really yellow, and the artificial ones are they're a lot more cream colored. But usually you have to do bigger areas than this to warrant the use of a natural lamb's wool applicator. Brush is a really good thing to use in a situation like this. So in 2 days, I'm going to come back and lightly sand this and put on the second coat of polyurethane. So when I do that, I'll make another video. And I don't apply the second and third coat the same way I'm putting this one on. So I'll show you the difference. So I'll come back in a couple days and I'll make another video where I'm putting the second coat on.